My name is Stephanie, and I'm going to be walking you through the registration process. While your schedule for your first semester is made for you, you will be responsible for your schedule for the remainder of your time here at CCU. There's a lot that goes into the registration process, but your advisors are here to help you with any issues you have along the way. But hopefully we can cover some of those here in this video. Remember, your advisors are there to help you whenever you need, so be sure to contact them if you have any problems. First, we will take a look at the schedule for the upcoming spring registration period. Be sure to take note of what category you fall into and know what time you are allotted to register. For example, if you are a freshman, you can register on November 6th and 7th between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on both days. As a tip, be ready early in the morning during the first day of your registration time. The earlier you are, the more likely you are to avoid the time delay that occurs when everyone else tries to get on and register. You will also experience fewer issues getting the classes you want. As a note, as the groups ahead of you register, check the classes you've already picked to ensure they haven't filled up. Also, be sure to have a backup plan of preferred classes already chosen. This will also help avoid scheduling issues, especially if you are a freshman. You will see what I mean by preferred classes later. Now we will move to the process of selecting your classes and preparing for your advising meeting. We will reference two important documents for this part: your program evaluation and the 4-year plan. First, we will need to open WebAdvisor. This can be done by heading to Coastal's homepage. The WebAdvisor link is here on the right. If we click that, it will open WebAdvisor in a new window. We'll log into WebAdvisor here, but please note the schedule at the top. The schedule lets you know when your bill will be available for the upcoming semester, as well as when the payment is due. The schedule is always here, so it's always available when you need it. To log in, click the link in the top right of the page. Enter your CCU login and password. It is the same as the first part of your email. You will then be taken back to the original screen. Click the student link on the right. You will then be taken to a new page that has many different categories of information. All of this information is important, but we'll be focusing mainly on the category on the top right labeled registration. Again, note the message at the top. You will see on my screen that it says important information from financial aid and scholarships. This message will change as needed to display messages from important offices. Be sure to check this because it may provide some helpful info. We will now start working on the registration process. First, we have to figure out what classes we need. A good document to have on hand when registering is the 4-year plan. This document was given to you during orientation, but if you lost track of it, your advisors will always have copies available, or you can access them through the Wall Center for Excellence website. The web address for the Wall Center for Excellence is www.coastal.edu/business/wallcenter. On this screen, select Academic Advising on the left. On the following screen, select Majors on the left. On this screen, you can select your major and find the 4-year plan as shown. I'm accounting the CPA track. So when I click this, it'll bring me to a PDF document that I can easily save to my computer. I already have the document saved on my computer. Here you will see that I have the accounting 4-year plan. There are a few things we need to check before using this as a guide. You will see that my effective date is fall 2012. Make sure the copy that you have reflects your major and catalog year. Your catalog year is the year you started here at CCU. You will see that the 4-year plan has each semester outlined with the suggested progression of classes you should take each semester. Let's look at the first fall semester in the top left box. You will see each class listed with the subject, course number, and course title. So for the first class, we will see University 110, the first year experience. University is the subject, 110 is the course number, and the first year experience is the course title. This will be important later. Now, look in the box to the immediate right, which is the first spring semester. Look at the creative expressions category. There's a small number 4 next to it. If we look at the bottom of the page, there is an explanation for this part that tells us what classes fit into this category. These include Art History 105, English 201, Music 257, etc. We can choose from any of these classes to fulfill this requirement. Please remember that this is just a guide. If you don't take foreign language in your first semester, that's fine. This is just a good tool to guide you through the next 4 years. Another important guide when deciding what classes we need is our program evaluation. This is an online document that your advisors will ask you for each time you meet with them. Whenever you meet with your advisor regarding courses, be sure to bring this along. It will save a lot of time and hassle if you have this ready. Our program evaluation can easily be found on WebAdvisor. It can be found under the Academic Planning category, which is underneath Registration and Academic Profile. It is simply listed as Program Evaluation. Choose the radial next to your program. You will notice that there's a box underneath with the question, what if I change my program of study, with the drop-down menu. If you're interested in changing your major, this will help you compare how what you already have taken compares to what the new major will require. We won't look at this today, but it is a tool that you can keep in mind if you want to change your major in the future. The final question asks what you want to include. Just make sure that it says all. Then click Submit. You will then be taken to the following screen. As you scroll through this document, you will see areas not started, in progress, pending, completed. Focus on the areas that are not complete. Match this up to the 4-year plan to decide what you need to register for. Once you are done, we will head back to the main screen by clicking on the Students menu on the top right. Another important part of registering for classes is scheduling an appointment with your advisor. We will talk about holds and restrictions more in depth in a moment, but you must meet with your advisor in order to have your advising hold removed from your account. You cannot register without meeting with your advisor first. Meeting with your advisor is especially important to ensure that you're on the right track towards completing your degree. We will return to the student menu of WebAdvisor to make an appointment with our advisors. The link to complete this action can be found under the Academic Planning category and is listed as Scheduling Advising Appointment. When you follow the link, you may be brought to the following screen. Enter your CCU login and hit Submit. You will then choose the department on the following screen to find your advisor. Most of your advisors will be listed under the Wall College of Business selection in the drop-down menu. After selecting the Wall College of Business or your department, press Display Department Advisors. This will display the advisors as seen. Next to your advisor's name, you will see a link to schedule an appointment. Click that link. You will be taken to a calendar on the following screen. Now your calendar will have more options than mine, but look for a time and day that works best for you and click on the time to schedule your appointment. When you click the time, you will be taken to the following screen. Click Schedule Appointment. You will see the final screen gives you confirmation. Be sure to check your CCU email to ensure that you have received the email confirming your appointment. This is what your email will look like. Print it for your records. You will also get a reminder email the day before your appointment. Now, since this is all online, you may experience some problems with this tool. However, know that you can always go to your advisor and schedule a time in person if you need to. After you're done scheduling, click the Logout button on the top right of the page. As we mentioned earlier, there are specific reasons why you need to meet with your advisor prior to registering for classes. The most important reason is that your advisor is the best guidance on picking the right classes. While you're expected to do this on your own prior to meeting with them, they will double check to make sure that you're progressing properly. Further, CCU requires students to meet with their advisors before what is called an advising hold may be removed from their account. This can only be removed by your advisor, and they will not remove it until they have seen you. There are also other restrictions that can keep you from registering. For example, if you have a parking ticket that isn't paid, then you will not be able to register. We will look at how to check for these holds and restrictions now. First, we'll look at the student menu on WebAdvisor. The category we want to look for holds and registrations is communications. This category is the very last one on the left side. The very first link, titled View Person Holds and Restrictions, is where to find these. Clicking on this link will take us to the following screen. As you can see, I have an academic hold. Now, even though you may have certain holds and restrictions, you can still set up a preferred schedule, which we will cover next. The most important part of registering is actually setting up your schedule. In WebAdvisor, this will be called your preferred schedule. In order to set these courses up, you will have needed to review your program evaluation and four-year plan to decide what classes you need. Be sure to have your preferred schedule set up along with backup courses in the event that they fill up during the registration period prior to going to your advisor. This will make the process much easier and quicker for you in the long run. Now, if you have a question about a particular course or are unsure of what to do, make note of it to discuss during your advising appointment. However, the more you can have done ahead of time, the better. Let's head to the student menu and start looking for our courses. We will be using the Register for Sections under the registration category on the top right. Click the Register for Sections link. You will then be taken to the following page. When you're taken to the following screen, click Search and Register from the options. You will see the following page. Now remember, when we have looked at our four-year plan, each course was listed with the subject, course number, and course title. On this page, we will enter the subject and course number. In my example, I'm going to register for the Master's in Business Administration course because that's my major. But you will see under the subject, you can find all the course subjects for every class offered across campus. Match that up to what is on your four-year plan. First, we're going to pick the term for which we are registering. I'm going to select the fall 2013 semester. Then I'm going to choose MBA for the subject. And 552 for the course number. Then I'm going to click Submit, and I'll be taken to the following screen. You will see there's only one section available for the class I want, but in most cases there will be more than one section available for the classes you're registering for. Since this is the only class available, I'm going to select it and then hit Submit. I will see the following screen. On the top, I will see the course I just picked underneath the title Preferred Sections. I will also see underneath that my current schedule. When registering for the upcoming semester, do not touch any of your current classes. You will risk causing errors with your current schedule, so steer clear of that section. Next, we will cover actually registering for these classes, but before you are able to do that, you will need to meet with your advisor. Print out this page with your preferred sections and bring that with you to your advisor. After you've met with your advisor, it's time to register for those classes. We will return to the student menu so that you can see how to navigate to your list of preferred sections. First, we will want to determine your registration time. You can do this by checking WebAdvisor. On the student menu, go to the registration heading and look for My Registration Appointment Time. This will show you when you are able to register. This is separate from your advising appointment and represents the window of time during which you are able to actually select the classes to register for in WebAdvisor. This will typically be visible closer to registration time, so don't panic if yours is blank right now. Here are the registration times again for your reference. On the student menu, go back to the registration category and select Register for Sections. You will be taken to the same screen as before, but this time go to Register for previously selected sections. Again, you will see your preferred sections and current registrations. Remember, stay away from those current registrations. Next to each of your preferred sections, you will need to select from the drop-down menu on the left and select Register only for the classes you wish to register for at that time. I only have 2 classes listed, but let's say I don't want MBA 600. I will only select Register next to the classes I want. Once you have selected Register, click Submit on the bottom. You will then see the following page that lists the classes that you are registered for. Now let's go back to the previous screen. I still have MBA 600 listed. Sometimes you will get an error message for classes. If you do, read it carefully to determine what you need to do to fix the error. For example, when I try to register for MBA 600, it won't let me because I've already completed this course, as it says at the top. Some common issues are that the class is filled up, there's a conflict with other classes as far as the time of the class, or there's a prerequisite issue. If you feel this is wrong, then make a note of it and go visit your advisor. Now let's say I want to remove MBA 600. I will go back to the drop-down menu, select Remove from List, and click Submit. It is then removed from my preferred sections list. Now, even though you are registered now, you will need to check your schedule before the start of this semester. So let's go back to the student menu. Sometimes classes change or drop, so it's important to check it periodically between semesters to make sure anything hasn't changed. To check your schedule, select My Class Schedule under the registration category. On the following screen, select the applicable term. There I can see my schedule and check for any changes. If you have any issues, contact your advisor to work with them to iron out any changes that may have occurred since you registered. Be sure to do this often. Don't wait until the day before classes to begin to check. The next 4 years will be packed with enough stress, so try to minimize it where you can. Also, know that your advisors will do anything and everything they can to help you, but you need to do your part as well. In conclusion, here are some important things to remember. Be sure to know your registration period. Bring your 4-year plan and program evaluation to your appointment. Have your preferred schedule already selected along with backup courses with you at your appointment. Remember to contact your advisor with any questions and be online early on registration day. Remember, through the next 4 years, you're going to experience a lot of stress. By preparing early and following these steps and the advice given, you can greatly minimize that stress. Having these things ready and thinking ahead will reduce the issues that you encounter greatly.